Former governor of Arkansas and 2016 Republican presidential candidate Governor Mike Huckabee to weigh in on the day's news as well as Donald Trump coming out a little bit later this morning and announcing Governor Mike Pence as his running mate. There's so much chaos in this world right now, Governor. What does Donald Trump, what does Mike Pence, what do they need to say today to kick off this new ticket?
You know, when Donald Trump a few weeks ago lit up a firestorm across the world when he suggested we needed to take another look at NATO, today we kind of get a picture as to why. Because the 27 member nations are having, there's 28 members, but they're looking at Turkey right now, the 28th member, and they're saying, how do we defend this? Because under Article 5, they're supposed to make sure that if there's any attack on Turkey, it's viewed as an attack on them. But in the case where you have an uprising of the people in a democratically elected government, this is really putting the U.S. in a tough spot. And Dr. Gorka had a great comment, the fact that, you know, this current president, he is the problem. So it does require, I think, nations, not just the U.S., but others to say, okay, you're a member of NATO, but what about when you go rogue? How do we defend that?
But why wouldn't it be really simple? We support secular leaders in the region. We do not support Islamist leaders. If that is kind of the guidepost for our foreign policy, wouldn't things work out a little better?
They would work out a lot better, Tucker, and it could be that simple, that we're not going to continue to consider an Islamic state, a hardline Islamic state, as a part of a democratic alliance. But see how John Kerry, Hillary Clinton, and Barack Obama would react to that. So all the more reason of the importance of this election. It's not just Supreme Court, it's not just appointments and policies and legislation. It's our place in the world. And we face a very clear distinction between what Hillary Clinton would do, which is surrender to these thugs, and Donald Trump's, which would say no way.
But, Governor, as we've seen from the Clinton campaign in the past, following any terror attack that happens in the West, what we see from them is you need a steady hand, and that steady hand is Hillary Clinton, and it's not Donald Trump. How does Donald Trump explain that away, and will we start to see him do even more of these more measured speeches using teleprompters and things like that?
Well, how steady has Hillary's hand kept the world from rocking? The reset in Russia, that was a steady hand. Boy, that worked out great. Syria, Lebanon, Egypt, Iran, name me a place where that steady hand has been anything other than basically a hand that has gone numb. A numb hand is steady. But you don't need a hand that is numb. You need one that knows how to run the controls. Hillary doesn't. The one thing we've learned over 8 years is she's not competent to be president. And even if she was, we can't trust her. I just don't understand why people would think, here's a person who has habitually lied under oath to Congress, lied to the American people repeatedly, lied to the families of the slain in Benghazi to their faces over their children's dead bodies, and then we're supposed to trust her with the statecraft of the United States. I don't think so.
We've seen some ads rolled out, and last night we're seeing them, Hillary Clinton's ads saying, while Donald Trump was at home watching television, Hillary Clinton was around the world putting the pressure on people like Vladimir Putin and others. I wonder how that'll play. And today,
yeah, and by the way,
yeah,
I was just going to say, yeah, she was really putting the pressure on Putin, and that's why he was flying fighters just a few feet above a Navy destroyer sitting out in the ocean. Right. Give me a break, Hillary. We ain't buying.
So nothing upset the left, really, in my lifetime more than Donald Trump's call for a ban on Muslim immigration into the United States. Mike Pence appeared to agree with him last night on Hannity. Take a look at this.
I am very supportive of Donald Trump's call to temporarily suspend immigration from countries where terrorist influence and impact represents a threat to the United States. What I've heard from Donald Trump, and I believe the position he's articulated that resonates with millions of Americans, is that we've got to find out what's going on, and we've got to do something different, and we've got to put the safety and security of the American people first. This is a really important issue.
So, I mean, the polls suggest that the majority of voters agree with Governor Pence. Are they going to run on that explicitly, do you think, and should they?
I think it'll be part of the platform that they will run on because it does connect with Americans. And frankly, it connects with common sense. If every time you have a mass terrorist account, somebody stands up and says, you know, Allahu Akbar, then pretty soon you're going to think, maybe we got a problem here. I mean, in the same way that if every time we had a terrorist attack, somebody stood up and said, you know, yo, Jesus, I guarantee you we'd be talking about these Christians. We've got to worry about them. But the slaughters across the world, especially these cold-blooded, savage murders, are not coming at the hands of Methodists. And I think that's why it's absolutely essential that we exercise whatever it takes to do America's #1 job, keep Americans safe.
Was Pence the right pick, Governor?
He's a good, solid pick, absolutely. Look, he's got experience in Washington. He's been a good governor. Nobody's been able to lay a hand on him, whether he's, not conservative enough. Of course he is, and he's been that way through his whole career. So I think he brings the right kind of balance.
All right, we'll see that at 11 o'clock this morning, the official rollout of the Pence-Trump ticket. Governor Mike Huckabee, great to see you this morning. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Governor.
Good to see you guys.